This is Jodi. Welcome to your flow practice. Happy Sunday. If you're just waking up, good morning. If you've been up for a while, good afternoon. I'm so glad you're here to join us today, and thank you for being with us, and happy holidays. Let's begin our practice. So, having props, pillows at home, bolsters, blocks, these things are really useful for this practice as well. Being near a wall could be potentially useful for you. So find a comfortable seat. I've chosen Sukhasana. This means the seat of a posture of ease. So Sukha literally means ease. So find a posture that suggests to you a meditative seat, but also comfort. And then we close our eyes and we start the first few moments of practice, settling in, setting intentions. As we close our eyes, we can bring more awareness to the sound of our breathing, and as well observe patterns of breathing, how the breath comes in through the body and how it exits. And can we use the breath to sit taller and the exhale to contain? So there's a bit of expansion and length and then containment. So take the next few seconds just breathing in and out through the nose. If you're calling in monthly goals, New Year's resolutions, now is the time to start to call them out of abstraction or out of ether or air and into real time. Let's give our goals a name, sometimes referred to as a mantra. You can join your hands at your heart now as we transmit our personal intentions into this practice today. Now you can join me if you wish. You can seal this intention with one vibration together, a graceful mantra, Om. Let's inhale and exhale first. Breathe in and breathe out. And now we'll Om together. Inhale, expand. Om. And again, good morning, friends. Thank you for joining us. Let's begin our practice standing. So come to the front of your mat and find a comfortable stance. Your feet are hip-width distance apart. And you can turn the thumbs out ever so slightly. So open the palms. Inhale, extend the hands straight up. Reach right up. Arms nice and wide. Bend the knees now and fold down. As we sweep the hands back, sweep them back up. Stand tall. Engage the front legs, the back legs. And then bring your hands right down to the side. Try that again. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, reach back. Inhale, lifting up, stand tall. Exhale, Samastiti here, equal standing. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, bend your knees. This time, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, start to straighten the legs as you lean forward. Exhale, bend your knees. Now you can also place your hands on your shins and do the same movements. These are called intensities, half intensity, full intensity. Inhale, stand tall. This time, hands might come together. Exhale, heart center. Hands at your side, sun salutation A. Inhale. Bend your knees and just swan dive the arms down. Hands to shins of the floor, lengthen halfway. Bend your knees, fold. Plant the hands down, plank position. We're going to hold this plank for 3 full breaths. Let's hold together as we draw the navel in, tone the legs for 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees down, chest, chin, belly, hips. Uncurl the toes, cobra position, gaze down. Exhale. Push back, child's pose. You can also use this time to curl the toes in, stretch the base of your feet. We'll hold here for 3, 2, 1. Lift up your knees, downward facing dog. So let's pedal. Let's turn our head gently to the right and then the left. Let's fan the fingers out and press the finger pads down. Now look between your knees. I want you to bend your knees, walk or hop to the front. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, full intensity. Inhale, reach your hands straight up. Palms might be together. Exhale, heart center. Same thing. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold at your hips. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, full intensity. Walk back or jump back as you wish. Start to begin the flow. Low plank would mean your knees stay lifted. Downward facing dog. Sound your breath. 5. Again, you can use this time to pedal, to twist, to move the neck muscles, nodding yes and no. You can also choose to be very still. It all depends on how you feel this morning. One more breath here. Hug those arm bones in. Bend your knees, look between your hands, walk or hop. Notice I've chosen to walk today. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, full intensity. Inhale, reach your hands straight up. Exhale, heart center. Hands at your side. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, full intensity. So from here, let's bend our knees and step our left foot back. Bring your left knee down to the mat and notice your hips are in front of the knee and your right knee tracks over your right ankle. You can use blocks, hands, tent claws. I'd like you to draw back and forward. So friends at home, this is a low lunge. This is also called a dragon lunge. Make sure that your left knee feels comfortable. Feel free to cushion it with a blanket if necessary. Drawing back, lengthens the hamstring. Bending the right knee forward, we find dragon lunge. We open the left hip flexor. So a few more times like that. We're bringing awareness to our bandhas. Now in yoga, you may know that the bandhas are energy locks in the body. So lightly engage your core abdominals as we move through a lunge and a half split. So from here, hands to the mat, curl your left toes in, plank position. So low plank is called Chaturanga Dandasana, and I'll show you. Inhale, upward facing dog. Now kneecaps are lifted. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 deep breaths here. Again, think about downward facing dog. Each posture we want to explore because we want to claim these postures. We want them to feel good in our body. So pedaling, twisting, or stillness. Sense the length in the torso. This is ideal. Now bend your knees. Look between your hands. Walk or hop to the front. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, full intensity. Inhale, arms straight up. Thumbs over your nose. Exhale, heart center. Hands at your side, equal standing. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, full intensity. Step your right foot back and position yourself for the low lunge. And sitting back would be the half split. So the reason we focus on alignment is for comfort, for steadiness, and for ease. So your left knee will track over your left ankle, And you're going to notice your hips moving in an action of extension and then flexion. So move forward and back for another 15 seconds or so. All the while, keep your core abdominals active. Bring awareness to your back foot. Curl the right toes in and go through the movements. Uncurl the toes and go through the movements. Right? There's different sensations to feel. A few more seconds here. Make sure the right knee is comfortable. So shift forward, plant your hands down, curl the right toes in, lift your right kneecap up. Downward facing dog. Pedal, twist. Twisting means that the feet are hip width and you pivot both feet to the right. You bend your knees to the far right until you feel a fantastic lengthening just underneath your right armpit through the serratus muscle and maybe even the intercostal muscles. So we bend to the right and then we swivel to the other side. So turn both feet to the left, comfortable. The right heel will be up as you bend your knees to the left. And all the while maintain somewhat of a downward dog shape. That means you hug your arm bones in. Come back to center, and now the first big effort is to drop to the forearms. Now we'll do this every class. There's no weight bearing on the head, so the head could be lifted. The head could be down, but it's not really touching the earth. You can also clasp your hands together. Dropping the head down is relaxing, lifting the head up. It's comfortable for alignment, right? For having steady alignment for one day practicing inversions. But bringing the head down is also a choice. So you've got 15 seconds here. What I'd like you to feel is your feet walking in. If you wish to intensify, extend the right leg up and lift your head up. Right? And you can switch legs. This would be the energetic foundation for inverting. When you're done, drop to child's pose. Take your hands behind you and feel shoulder extension. This is a way of neutralizing what we were doing, right? Which is shoulder flexion. The interesting thing about this inversion is that you can work on it with very little pressure on your neck. So feel free to play with this if you're not putting weight bearing on your head today. So come back from child's pose and go to tabletop position. And in tabletop position, find cat-cow. And once again, we're just waking up the neck, the hips, the shoulders, a little Sunday morning wake up. It's ideal for you to feel amazing through the hips and the joints, the little joints in the knees, the ankles, and the neck. Now find downward facing dog. Please walk or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, full intensity. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, heart center. Hands at your side. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, full intensity. Step your left foot back. This time, drop your left heel into the earth. Your right heel intersects your left medial arch, so the center of your left foot. Find a comfortable alignment there. Right foot is straight. Take your left arm up. As it passes your left ear, sweep your arm back and find warrior two. Turn the right palm up. And then we're going to find the reverse warrior. We're going to hold for 3. The back leg is straight for 2. For 1. Back to warrior 2. Windmill the arms down. 1 vinyasa here. Plank. Lower down your method. Inhale, open your heart, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Please walk or hop to the front. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, full intensity. Inhale, bring the hands up. Bind your thumbs this time. So binding the thumbs looks like a wingspan. All right, so it's also called Garuda Mudra, which means eagle mudra, as we can see. So contain the ribs, tone the front and back legs simply by activating the muscles. Inhale here. Exhale, lean to the right. Press down through the toes for a maximum foundation. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, left. Inhale, neutral. Elbows can be bent. Exhale, right. Get a great stretch on the left side of your body. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, reach over to your left. Find that great stretch on the right side. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, rest. Inhale, reach up. Hinge from your hips. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, full intensity. Right foot steps back. And the right heel sinks into the earth. Heel to arch alignment, look forward. Right hand comes up. As it passes your right ear, we find warrior two. We hold for one breath. Keep your torso long and straight. Left palm up, 3 breaths. Reverse warrior. So right here, we're asking our spine to find this beautiful side opening, which makes breathing methods a little more reasonable, natural. Come back to warrior two. Lift your sternum, and then windmill the arms down. Plank position. Lower down with your knees or your low plank. Inhale, strong fingertips, open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Second attempt at a holding pattern where your heart is above your head. When you drop the forearms down again, the head can go down or up. If you're working on Pincha Mayurasana, you can start kicking up at a wall. Holding here for 15 seconds. So I'm going to go with the beginner intermediate option. What we're looking for is endurance. Now bring the feet down, child's pose. Rest in child's pose for 5 to 6 seconds. It's a nice way to recharge and to keep going in this practice. You'll notice that I always try to have a wall open, and I encourage you to have a clear wall at home for inversions in case you decide it becomes appropriate to start kicking up at the wall. We usually do that at the end of class, but you can incorporate that sooner if this is part of your practice today. So find tabletop position once again. Move through your cat-cow as a mindful check-in. And then find downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look between your hands, walk or hop to the front. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, full intensity. Inhale, reach your hands straight up. Exhale, heart center. Hands at your side. So we're going to move on to twisting now, but first I'd like to do a few standing postures. So I'll face you, but you could still face the front of your mat. So let's bring our feet hip width distance. Comfortable. And then take your right knee, bend it, right ankle just above your left knee. Now flex this right ankle. This is crucial to stabilize the knee joint. So once you have that, see if you can work on the balance, look to the floor, and start to have a seat. Now the range could be this. It could be here, And really, as comfortable as your body permits you, you can go a little deeper. Cradling is definitely a variation that we work on. Hands to the floor, also interesting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There must be heat in your legs now because we're working hard. We're going to stay with that heat in your left leg. Pull the right knee up just above the hip bone. Raise the roof here. Contain your ribs. Take your right leg straight. Now think of your right thigh bone, that femur bone. I want you to pull it back to your hip socket. 3 more breaths here. Keep lifting up with your fingertips. 2, 1. Bring it down. Hands at your side. Draw in. And draw out. Draw in. Just continue to nourish yourself as you challenge yourself. Try the other side. So feet are hip width. Cross your left knee. Bend your left knee. Cross your left ankle over your right knee, or just above. Again, look at the flexion here. It's a 90-degree bend. It's dorsiflexion. This stabilizes the knee. So here we go, 10 breaths. Cradling, or hands to the earth. Find an edge that's appropriate for you that signals progress in this practice. And really lots of liberation and mobility through our hips, through our hamstrings, and strength and endurance. Especially we'll feel this in the right leg. A few more seconds here. Breathe in and out through the nose. Bring your hands to your heart, gaze down, and see if you can push up to standing. Extend the hands up. Draw your left knee up just above your hip bone and take your left leg straight. Lift up now for 3, 2, you should feel the heat in your legs. 1, bring the leg down nice and slow. Bring your hands at your side. We'll come back to another standing posture after this twist. So step to the front of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, full intensity. Left foot back. Here's where you can always use blocks or your 10 claws, fists, hands, like whatever's comfortable. Take your left heel back to the earth. See if you can straighten your right leg. And then bend the right knee. And then straighten. And bend. And straighten. So the front foot is straight. The back foot is typically turned about 45 degrees. That's half of the straight. And really, you have to be comfortable. If you wish to fold down, that's a choice too. And then up we go. And down. And up. So if you're biking, walking around, you might notice a bit of tightness in your hamstrings. You can bend the knee today. Also feels amazing. So definitely give yourself some love on Sunday. Now from here, we're going to keep our stance. Make sure you're not wobbly. Hands to the hips, crown of the head forward, right hip bone draws back, and then push up. Now see if you could take your hands behind you like this, which is 2 fists together, or the beginnings of reverse namaste, or indeed reverse namaste. Here's a little life hack. Just bind your thumbs, and you might find that useful. So many options. Hands behind your back, fists touching, fingers, or the entire hand. Bind your thumbs as needed. Inhale, look up. Elbows back, right hip bone back. Exhale, fold. Now you can bend the right knee, or you can keep it straight. Elbows up to the sky. Make sure your stance is comfortable. If it feels too wide, shorten it. 3, 2, 1. From here, position yourself back to the earth. Bend your right knee, downward facing dog. Pedal 1 vinyasa. So the vinyasa is plank, low plank, or your knees to the earth. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, draw back. Downward facing dog. Third attempt at inversion foundations. So if you've already mastered these inversions, this is really interesting foundational work for you. It's a way of just keeping you very strong. So forearms down again. Hands can be clasped or open. Lift your head up or drop it down. Walk your feet in if it's reasonable today. Maybe one leg comes up today. Again, friends at home, if you're working on kicking up, feel free to face a wall. 15 seconds remain. Pressing into the forearms. Rooting into the forearms. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take rest right down to your child's pose. 5 or 6 seconds to recover. Once you recovered, back to tabletop. Try something different. Turn your hands out east and west. Or turn your fingertips back to face you. Then move through your cat-cow. See how this feels. It might feel familiar. It might feel brand new. Downward facing dog. Please walk or hop to the front. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, full intensity. Inhale, arms come up. Bind your thumbs. So remember, we bind at home, Garuda Mudra, Eagle Mudra. So see what you habitually do. Is it right thumb over left? Try your left thumb over your right. Inhale, soften the elbows. Exhale, lean left. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, lean right. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, left. Lateral flexion. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, lean right. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, equal standing. Inhale, extend your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half intensity, lean forward. Exhale, full intensity. Bend your knees, step your right foot back, and slide and pivot your right heel into the earth. Your blocks can be used, or any hand position that is comfortable. Take the next 15 seconds. Waking up the belly of your left hamstring. Keeping the back leg toned. Lifting through the arches of the feet. Sense the traction of your spine. So the left hip bone draws back. The crown of the head feels like it's lengthening forward. So you have this strong connection from the crown of your head to your sit bone. One of length and strength. Bending your left knee today is a wonderful variation that I encourage. Now from here, I want you to look forward. Make sure that your stance is comfortable. We're going to come to standing, hands to the hips, push up. Again, choose your shoulder opener, your chest opener. Now your hands could be together like this, right? And as well, namaste, binding thumbs. There's a few other methods too, friends at home, but I'm just giving you 3 to start and just see which one makes sense. Inhale, look up, elbows back. Exhale, hinge from your left hip and fold. Now you can bend your knee or you can keep your left leg straight. 5, so keep drawing your elbows up. 4, core abdominals engaged. 3, maybe chin to shin one day. 2, 1, push up. And bend your left knee, release your hands. So hands come back, downward facing dog. 1 vinyasa here, friends. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Please walk or hop to the front. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, full intensity. Inhale, reach straight up. Exhale. Hands at your side. So I'm going to stand in front of you again, but you can stay at the top of your mat. We're going to gaze down and practice eagle posture, okay? So eagle posture, 5 breaths. Okay, so take your arms, practice, do a little test run here, left elbow over right. Hug your shoulders and move up and down. This would be a fantastic variation. Otherwise, take your hands and bind through the wrists. Okay? And then the same thing. Take your elbows up and down and see how that feels. You can even take them forward, which is a more intense sensation. You'll feel it through the front of your anterior deltoid or the front of your left shoulder. So just see what your range is. Notice how low your hands are going, not forcing. And notice how high your elbows will go. Notice if the elbows go so high, you start to incorporate a spinal extension or a somewhat of a back bend here. Okay, so keep your arms going, bend your knees. Option 1 is 5 breaths here, okay? Option 2 is to look down, steady yourself, right thigh bone over left, 1 bind or a 2nd bind at your right ankle. Right hip bone back, 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's reach our hands up. Let's pull the right knee up. Right leg straight. Right leg down. There's many variations from eagle pose. That is simply 1. Let's try the other side. So arms forward, this time right elbow over left. Move around. Notice hugging the shoulders is preliminary work that feels great. You can proceed on to double chi or double bind, right? And same for the legs. Knees could be bent, lots of good work there. Or left thigh bone over right. Bind once or again, double chi. 5. Keep bending your right knee. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just reach your hands straight up. Draw your left knee up just above the hip point. Take the leg straight. And release. Roll the shoulders out. We do this by drawing the shoulders up as close as we can to the chin, and then the ear, and then back. Now we increase the movements into the rotator cuffs by taking the hand up and back. And now we go back to flow and one twist now. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, full intensity. Walk or jump back, plank position. Cycle through the vinyasa, which feels like one push-up and one back bend. Downward facing dog. Right leg sweeps up. Your right foot steps through. Your left heel sinks down, and use props as needed or bring your hands to the mat. Right leg is straight. Exhale, fold. Now you may notice straightening your leg might become more reasonable as we warm the body. Feel free to use blocks or bend the right knee now as a variation. So from this place, your left hand is on the inside of your right foot. Block, fantastic. Right hand to the right hip and stack. So this is fundamental triangle. It feels very interesting. Feels a little bit like a split or a half split. Another option is to take your block on the other side. Draw the right hip bone back, shoulders stacked. Press down through the toes rather firmly and lift up. So I want you to play with that. 5 more breaths. Just so you know, friends at home, you can bring your hands as well to the mat. Now, as I cycle a lot lately, so I notice bending my right knee is a bit more comfortable. So explore all the different movements that can give you ease, as well as strength. Release the work. 2 hands down, blocks out of your way, and fold. And then inhale. Now, if you happen to have used a block, you're going to have to travel with it to the other side. Okay, you would just stand up, everyone, and then pivot. If you happen to be using a block, bring it to the inside of your left foot. Fold down in pyramid pose. This variation is just another opportunity to find length in the back of your left leg. The entire leg, left hip bone draws back, core abdominals engaged, and fold. Think about all the options I'm giving you because they're ideal to be in your yoga toolbox. Because the human body is so interesting, it's empowering, it's humbling, all at once. So it's best to have many variations. So now to come into triangle, revolve triangle, the right hand to a block of the earth, stacking the shoulders, left hip bone draws back, toes press down. Your left knee can be bent. Play with this shape. If your right heel is rooting up, walk your foot in. Play with all the different sensations. If you're taking your right hand to the outside of your left foot, that's probably the most intense version. Squeeze the navel in, left hip bone back. Look down and fold over your leg. So some people say there's a couple 100,000 yoga postures. I think it's true because I've seen so many variations. However, I would say this for me is probably one of the most humbling. So, which is fun. Bring your hands to your hips, blocks out of the way. You're facing the back of your mat. Hands to your hips, come to standing. Pivot your feet to the right again and face forward and step to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Create Garuda Mudra. Bend your elbows. Inhale. Notice how lateral flexion feels this time around. Exhale. Inhale, we're looking for steadiness and ease. Exhale, left. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, rest. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half intensity. Exhale, the full intensity. Walk back, plank position. Drop to the forearms. So here we are in a low plank. We're going to commence with knee taps now. Right knee taps and lifts, and then the left. And then I want you to interchange. At the same time, engage your core. So you've got about 15 seconds here. Keep tapping, it doesn't matter the count. What matters is that you feel a little bit of heat coming into the body. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the work, clasp your hands. Drop your head down, it doesn't touch the mat. Walk your feet in. Head up or down, this is dolphin dog. Head can be up. Head could drop down, but it's not taking weight. 15 seconds. Press through the forearms to lift the body. 5, 4, legs feel toned and active. 3, 2, 1, rest. So, child's pose again is a popular way to rest, and so is the way I'm sitting right now. It's a variation of hero's pose. And really, it's what do you prefer this Sunday? Your preferences are so important because I think that they're tethered to instincts about your body that only you know and I don't know. So trust your instincts a lot. Really infuse your instincts into this practice and you will soar. Let's come onto our back now. So lying down on your back, you can vinyasa there, right? Or you can simply come and lie down now. Get really comfortable. Light core abdominal work now. So if there's any props at home that you love using, such as balls or blocks or anything at all that helps with adduction or the squeezing in of the legs, definitely bring those now, or simply lie down. So once you're flat and you're comfortable, take your legs up and take your hands underneath the softest part of your buttock. So the hands are kind of giving a slight elevation, right? The slightest elevation, and your hands need to be comfortable. Now see if you can straighten your legs, don't have to force that. Now look at my ankles. The shape is like I'm walking on the ceiling. We call this dorsiflexion. Now plantar flexion would be, to begin, point your toes straight up. Keep that shape, right? Only floint the toes towards you. Okay, so that's the shape we're looking for. It's called plantar flexion. Again, it's not like you're wearing sneakers, more so as if you're wearing stilettos. Okay? Squeeze the toes together and start to crisscross as we adduct and hug the core muscles of the legs. Now notice I'm lowering just a third, and then I'm lifting up, and I'm lowering, and I'm lifting up. So you don't have to go all the way. So here we are at about 90, right? It's half of that. And try to be in a place that you find challenging. I want you to crisscross now for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up, center, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You should feel heat in the legs building. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower, just a third, and up. That's 10. Lower, a third, 9. Lift up, 8. Keep shredding your legs. 7, ankles strong. They're not floppy. 6, 5, 4. Can we go a little faster? 3, 2, 1. Let's stay at the top for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. A little faster. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees, rest. So take your feet to the outside of your mat. Just drop your thigh bones left and right. So take your feet together now to touch and let the knees open. Rest here comfortably for about 5 seconds. Notice how you feel on the inside lines of your hamstrings and your lower back. Bring the legs back together. Take the legs up. Now the hands are out now, they're free. Knees can be bent, legs sealed, or your right thigh bone over your left. Just like before, this is the eagle. Take your hands behind your head, which is really supportive, but really the work is here, okay? You can also take your hands up, which I also love. So both are correct. It's just a matter of comfort. So let's do 30 like this, and then we'll switch the leg position. We'll try it again. Inhale, come on up, and let's pulse for 10, 9, very small pulses, 7, 6, pump your belly till you feel that heat, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Rest, recharge in those few seconds. Breathe in and out. Let's try it again. Shoulder blades off the mat. We stay up and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. So breathe in fully through the nose and out. Respiration is the perfect balance of CO2 and oxygen. So breathe in and out. Last 10 on this side. Inhale, come up. Shoulder blades stay up. 10, 9, 8. I feel it. I hope you do. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Rest. Windshield wipers. Anything at all that your instincts tell you to do. It can be like this. It can be like this. It is so important that we have a little bit of fun and a little bit of ease and a little bit of joy as we give over these efforts for our body. Let's try the other side now. Same setup, legs either bent, adducting, squeezing, even a ball like I said before, or left thigh bone over right. 1 bind or 2. Hands behind the head, option 1. Hands reaching up, option 2. Both are correct. Inhale, shoulder blades up, and let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. So I'm working on an advanced technique. I'm trying to smile really big through this, even though I find it challenging. So I hope you're having fun with this at home. Inhale, come on up. Another 10, shoulder blades off the mat. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Actually feels good. I hope you feel like you're waking up the body. Last 10, let's give it all we have. Inhale, come up and go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Release. So that was 60. Rock up to seated. 1 vinyasa here, friends. Walk or jump back. Downward facing dog. come through to a seated position and then lie down once again. Take your left leg straight and your right leg long. Once the leg is straight up, that's your right leg, walk up the leg. Again, we're using a little bit of core and psoas strength to walk up this leg. Right, for 3, for 2, for 1. Make decisions now. Decision 1, right knee bent. Decision 2, you're taking your right leg straight and you're guiding with your peace signs your right big toe to the left side of your mat. So it can look like a bent right knee. It can also look like a straight leg. And I'll show you as well, cat pulling its tail. Your left knee bends. Your right hand is palm face up and you slide it underneath. That gets into your left quadricep, which is ideal for the back bends coming up. So 5 deep breaths here. Cat pulling its tail is on the menu. 5. And the twisting helps release the core work that we were just working on, the core abdominal work. Release everything. Windshield wipers to check in with your hip flexors. Think about it, your thigh bone, your femur bones turning in the hip socket. How does it feel? Left and right. And how does it feel for hip flexion? Rock up, use your core. Hands to the earth. 1 vinyasa. From downward facing dog, pedal, twist. Hug your arm bones in, draw the armpits in. Then bend your knees, look between your hands, and try to jump to a seated position. And lie down. So it's the same thing. Your twist needs to feel amazing for you. So bending the knee, guiding to a pillow. All right, that's definitely an option. But first, let's lengthen your hamstring. So walk up the leg. Just get a little bit of a stretch here. If your right leg is riding up, you can really encourage the leg to stay down by just placing a right hand over. Now, release. Option 1, bend the knee. Cat pulling its tail. Option 2, right peace signs, grab your left big toe. Root down the shoulder blades and look up or to your left. Looking to the left will help you root down the shoulder girdle. Cat pulling its tail is always optional as well. 5 full breaths. So remember, twists can feel somewhat relaxing, or based on your choices today, they could feel stimulating. Or a combination of both. That's the beauty of yoga. You can design your practice at home or anywhere based on your choices. Release everything. The windshield wipers come back into play to check in with your lower back and your hips. And then rock up to seated. Vinyasa, please. Downward facing dog. We're going to flow a little bit here, friends. Move nice and slow. From downward facing dog, sweep your right leg up. Bend your right knee. This is wild dog. Open the hips, yet keep your shoulders level. Inhale, keep the work. Just roll forward. Plank, right leg still elevated. Now flip this dog to a side plank. So it can be side plank. If you continue to spiral up, you'll notice it's wild thing. That is optional. Flip your dog back. Pull the right knee to your heart. Right leg sweeps up. Right foot steps through. So we're back to this lunge. Take your right hand on the inside of your right foot and turn left. Right away, heels in, toes out. Skandasana A. Back and forth. Now, bend your left knee and pivot to face the back of your mat. Downward facing dog. Same thing here. Sweep your left leg up. Bend your left knee, open the hip. Shoulders feel level. Stay here or slowly begin to shift forward. Shoulders over the wrists, flip your dog. So this is called side plank Parshvavashistasana. You'll notice the kickstand on the back leg. Or if you spiral up a bit, you'll notice it's called wild thing. It's more of an extension in the back. Flip your dog back. Pull your left knee in to neutralize. Sweep your left leg up. And then sweep your left foot through. Bring your left hand inside of your left foot and pivot to the right. Heels in, toes out. Back and forth we go. Bend your right knee, face forward. So from here, we drop right into pigeon. So taking your right foot behind your left wrist. Your shin comes down. Now we can tuck the shin in as close as we can to the front of our left hip point. If there's any discomfort in the knee today, a really intelligent variation, which is pretty much the same work, is to do this on your back. Okay, so this is swan. Lying down in swan can be very restorative. A block or a pillow can go under your head. And we'll be here for 1 minute. Again, any knee sensitivity on the right side, same posture on your back. Also sometimes called reclining pigeon, right? So look at all these methods. These are all the same work, okay? Just no pressure on the knee, okay? So swan is associated with a yin shape. We have about 45 seconds here. Friends at home who want to practice more of a active variation of the pigeon, it is no longer a swan then. It is called the pigeon. In Ashtanga, sometimes it's been referred to as proud pigeon. And I guess we could see why. The chest puffs up, activate your glutes, intensify, arms come up and back, right? So this would be preparatory posture for binding. Okay, you can also look like this. So think about it. You've got a few more seconds here. You can also practice catching the foot, right? So if you're new to that, it would be holding here. As well, friends, if you're up but you have a hard time with the staying up, and you can take a block or a pillow underneath your right sit bone, right? And then you can stay even longer because it's a little less fire in your legs, and then hold up. And we can go deeper into those postures if I get feedback that you're interested in it. Release the work, downward facing dog. 3 vinyasas here. Inhale, plank position. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, expansion. Exhale, downward dog. 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Number 3. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Step your left foot into pigeon. So we went into great length about the pigeon and the swan. If you're practicing swan today, you can come down to your forearms if you'd like, or onto a pillow. If you have a block at home, it can support the third eye. 1 minute. If you'd like to play with all the variations, now is the time. A pillow could be under your sit bone. You can practice coming up here, here, or maybe interlacing your thumbs, and placing your hands at the base of your crown. Yes, this feels like a back bend because there's hip extension and the heart is open, so there's a little spinal extension. As well, you can also be here, right? And as well, just stay as you are. You've got about 45 seconds. Whatever choice you have, you could also be on your back, modifying intelligently. Over time, the pigeon, the front shin, that's your left shin bone, becomes parallel to the front of the mat. And when that happens, you have strong dorsiflexion in your left ankle. So this pigeon feels a little more intense than when we tuck this leg back. So that's another thing that you can explore in swan, like this, or coming up. Binding is really one of the natural progressions in these postures. If that's something you're interested in, please leave us some feedback. 15 more seconds here. Notice how you're breathing. Really tune into the patterns of your breath when a pose is simple. Tune into the pattern of your breathing when something feels a little bit tight or tensile restriction. So the idea is that we want to keep our comfortable breathing pace throughout all of the work, and that's something we all work towards together. 5 seconds here. So if you're on your back, rock up to seated vinyasa. One vinyasa, friends, together. Downward facing dog to begin. Reset. Pedal. Twist. Anything you need. Inhale, plank position. Exhale, vinyasa. Come through to a seated position. And of course, lie down. So when I meet up on these sessions, I'll always encourage you to have blocks at home. If you don't yet have them, they're very easy to find. You can source them here at 889, or you can get them anywhere. A block can be used now for restorative, supported bridge postures. If that's something you love and you have blocks at home, try it. It's amazing. If you don't have blocks, we're going to work on unsupported bridge, right? Meaning active. So this setup is one way. Parallel blocks at level 2 is another way. And the most common way is the block at level 3 on the head. And this one is just behind your heart. Now, you can also do this too. So experiment at home. Your instincts will tell you exactly the right type. It's kind of like a Goldilocks thing. You will know simply by experimenting which one is the best position for you on any given day, okay? So if you do have blocks at home, take them behind the chest and behind the head. So I want my neck to be ideally neutral, not flexion, and not my chin above my forehead, which would be a little bit of extension. It's not wrong, it's just not what we're looking for right now. We're looking for support. And rocking side to side, if you feel comfortable, linger here. This is incredible for enhancing your pranayama practice or your breathing techniques. As well, shoulder flexion over the head, right? That's optional. That's for my friends who want to maintenance their binding practice, right? Notice my knees are bent. You can also elongate your legs. Bringing your hands to your side is also a wonderful way to embrace this supported back bend. Now, friends, if you don't yet have blocks at home, you can still find incredible work lying down without the props. You can find an active bridge. That means you engage the glute muscles, the hamstrings, all pressing down through the feet. So if that sounds like something you want to work on, lift your hips up. Hands could be at your side. Or you start to scrub your shoulder blades in. As you do, you're going to notice you're lifting a bit more. You can clasp your hands together, press down the big toes, and try to hold for 5 to 10 breaths. Now, this can be done in a sequence. This can be done 3 times. You can also place a block or a ball in between your thighs. So this is a great way to build glute strength, hamstring strength, and of course, ankle strength. Everything comes into play. Finally, my friends, these are the two options that I think are the most popular. I'm going to offer them all the time to you. The third option is a shoulder press up, and we call this the wheel. So if you're practicing wheel today and you're comfortable in your wheel practice, 3 times would be ideal. So 3 fantastic efforts. I will demo one so we understand what it might look like. So if you're new to the wheel, it probably will look like this. You've got your shoulder press and you're on your head. You're going to build the strength over a few weeks or months to get here and then eventually here. So it does happen in increments, so be patient, okay? Try not to turn your feet out. You hold the posture for as long as you comfortably can. Hugging the arm bones in, lifting your heart up, and then coming down to rest, right? So if you've never done that before, go for one and then stick with your bridge. If you're practicing wheel today and it's a consistent thing in your practice, go for 3 times as is tradition. So explore that for the next 30 seconds. Think about your life rhythm this week and how in yoga we're seeking to balance. For example, if we're sitting a lot, maybe a supported back bend would be the best path for you. If you're feeling sluggish or tired, an energizing back bend will probably help you reset for the day. So you've got about 15 seconds to explore that. I'm going to demo a back bend again, just so friends at home understand all the variations that we can work on. So this is called Urdhva, which means upward. Dhanurasana, bow. If you happen to be practicing it more than once, the crown of the head comes down. Kind of rest there for a second, and then engage your toes and glutes and hamstrings again, and you lift up again. And if you feel like you want to practice it a 3rd time, it's the same thing. Pressing up, the shoulder press draws you up. Press the toes down for maximum stability. Come down. And everybody, no matter what choice you've chosen today, supported bridge or active bridge or full wheel, I'd like everyone to come down to their back now, shake their wrists out. If you did your wheels, feel free to massage, wiggle out your fingers, shake it out. And then we're going to neutralize together. So place your hands onto your thigh bones. I want you to slide the base of your palms down into the hip crease. That is where we're going to keep our hands as we lengthen the torso. So press your thigh bones down and away from you. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, contain the ribs and the core abdominals. So this is traction. This is our time to activate the core abdominals again. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, start pressing your thigh bones down away from you. Root down your shoulder blades. Ribs knit down and in, and engage the core. Try to hold for a few seconds. Think about traction, length, and strength. And then hug your knees in to neutralize. One vinyasa together when you're ready. Inhale, rock up to seated. Exhale, walk or jump back. Vinyasa. So downward facing dog, friends. We're coming to the last few moments of class. This is where we make a detour to rest now, resting in a seated position of meditation, and then Shavasana for at least 5 minutes if you have that time, or to practice your inversion. So friends at home, think about what's important to you now. In the 5 minutes, should you invert, which also relaxes the nervous system equally as much as Shavasana? Okay, so make that decision now, lying down comfortably on your mat or practicing an inversion at home. If you've chosen the inversion path, follow me. Otherwise, please settle down and start to rest. If you have a wall at home, it's definitely a good option to always be near it. And we're going to practice Shirshasana today. Shirsha is a Sanskrit word for head. So what we do is we interlace our fingers, open, not tight or hard, nice and loose, just behind the crown of the head, and we draw the elbows in. Now notice the elbows are in alignment with my shoulders. If they open, there's a chance that I'm going to fall. So you want to keep the elbows in, and then the forearms are going to endeavor to push into the earth. Remember, friends, face the wall if you prefer. So I'm going to demo beginners. If you have been practicing this for some time, I'd like you to come up now. Walking in, press through the forearms, and we might stop here today for a few weeks, a few months. It might also look like this, and one day you'll notice, oh, I'm starting to lift up. By rooting down through your forearms, the feet go up. You can also practice like this with your knees bent and close to the earth. You can also start to make shapes with your Shirsha, headstand. Okay, so just think about where you'd like to go, and again, tone those legs like you're squeezing a block if they decide to go straight up. So friends, keep playing with this. When you feel that you are tired or you'd like to let go of the inversion practice, you can rest in child's pose or come onto your back right away and rest. I think in terms of learning these inversions, the human body can usually take 3 big attempts or 4 attempts. And then it's good to let it go for now and rest. So try another attempt at home if it's fascinating you today, or start to come into a relaxation pose. So Shavasana, we can talk about Shavasana. Many of my friends and some students have told me that lying on our belly, while it's not traditional, it feels really amazing for a lower back. So sometimes with lower back and sensitivity, we may discover lying on our stomach feels amazing. I would invite you to explore that, right, to verify as to whether or not that's true for you. And now in terms of tradition, we all know Shavasana, right? Just means letting go of the practice, not to be preoccupied with what's past, because it's over. Practice is over. This marks the end of practice, and also, as best we can, to be present. To not be concerned of what happens next or an hour from now, but to be right here, right now. If you're comfortable, just allow the mouth, the lips to part, and the teeth to part. This will unhinge your lower jaw. And once the lower jaw will unhinge, you'll notice the base of your tongue gets soft. This is ideal for relaxing the whole body, starting through the crown of the head, into the eyes, the base of your tongue, lips parted, and just scan down the whole front body. Relax the whole front body. Fingertips curl in. And the belly feels soft. Feel the belly rise. And fall. Legs are parted, heavy. The whole front body melts into the back body. Back body melts into the earth. Mother Earth supports and carries you. Namaste.